Moon gang! Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Folks, look at this. Look at AMC looking like a hot tamale. Actually, I should tweet that out because it's feeling like a hot tamale type of a day. Why is this light weird over here? Folks, it's a good day to be an ape. Beautiful day to be an ape. Let me make sure I am A-okay over here. This is loading up. There is a thing I want to talk, and I already know it's gonna be like, oh, like apes are fighting apes. What's going on with like apes and like so I know I'm probably building up this thing and they're like, well, what's he talking about? Let me just show you before man, I don't know. You can be on the same side of something without fighting and you're just disagreeing about what something means. And I know I'm building this up in a really weird way and I don't want this to become a thing. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. And I'm not, okay. So, here's what happened. Usually I tweet out AMC and GME every day. That's how I did it. And then GameStop numbers started getting lower in terms of the reported short interest. So I started doing it weekly and I forgot it on Friday. So I did it today just so people know where it's up. Like, I'm not lying. I'm not the one who makes this data. This is 85% of transactional volume that is reported to Ortex. So it's missing 15% of the legal legitimate picture and it's listing 100% of the illegitimate stuff. The point of Ortex is to use it as a conservative floor value and follow the trend. Because even if we don't know the magnitude, we can track the trend if it's going up or going down. I don't know how to make that more clear. Is this 100% accurate? Absolutely not. So anywho, here's what's going on because I don't want this to be a thing. I said the short interest was 10.39%, utilization was 42, and shares on loan is 6.75 million. 10.39, 6.75 million, 42. I'm not pulling these numbers out of thin air. And then people were messaging me because there's this other account, Gary Gensler's Lost Horse. Wrong, GME float is 44.4 million. I don't know where I was wrong because I didn't say anything about the free float, like at all. Shares on loan as per the New York Stock Exchange is 7.66 million or 17% of the float. So this is problematic and this is verifiably false, which is why I said, please stop spreading misinformation. Why is this false? Well, right here. This is data from July 30th, folks. Settlement date, July 30th, shares on short. It's not even shares on loan. Like right there, that's wrong. Like to say that it's shares on loan. Shares on loan, you take shares on loan and then you have to go short with those. They're not the exact same thing. Yes, they are highly correlated, but you can go with shares on loan without being short. So I'm just trying to clarify this because he meant short shares. That's why I'm saying the shares on loan you're citing is actually share short. And right here, we have that. It's actually share short, 7.66 million. I agree with that number. I think he accidentally messed up the terminology. It came out on August 10th, but it was valid data as of July 30th, or to put that another way, it was valid data as of, 16 days ago? And so there's some weird things there. I don't quite know what he's getting out of this. And Ortex is garbage. The short interest is impossible to measure accurately. Well, not really. You can measure it somewhat accurately. For example, estimation of short interest. So right here, here's their estimation. They're estimating it like they were off more recently about by 700,000 and like other times they're close. So this number, they were overestimating it previously. Before that, they were underestimating it. The purple line, the one that we have more of, is Ortex's estimation. And then on a 2-week, like I guess you're behind, it's always lagging. You get the numbers, the exchange reported numbers, which is not actually exporting. That's like a misnomer. But anyway, yeah, you can somewhat accurate, like right here on June 15th, they were pretty much spot on. They were off by less than a 250,000 shares. So no, it's not impossible. It's not perfect by any means, but you can get like within the realm of reason. And then there was something here that I wanted to talk about. Free float. Free float is a good thing to talk about, and this is a bit confusing. And let me bring this up here for you. So within stocks, all we actually know is outstanding shares. This is very, very important. You know the outstanding shares. That's how many shares can be traded by anyone, insiders, the people who own it. That's the amount of shares that there is in existence for that stock. Authorized share. Well, it's not authorized. They come from authorized shares. But outstanding shares is total shares. If you were to look into that, outstanding shares is two different things. It's closely held plus free float. Closely held plus free float equals outstanding shares. The issue here is there's no universally accepted calculation for free float. Different data providers say, okay, hang on, we think that pension fund, there's no way there's going to sell, so we're going to put them into the closely held category. We think that this hedge fund's a little bit more active, we're going to put them into the free float category. So it's just like closely held is a block of shares that no one thinks is going to be traded, whether it's a pension fund, whether it's insiders who can't because of vesting schedules. But my point in saying this is there's no perfect calculation that all data providers do to calculate free float. That's why you see discrepancies. Not every provider will have the same methodology for calculating free float. It's roughly going to be there. Like they're going to be in the same ballpark of each other, but it's never going to be the same because there's no universal calculation for free float. They do the best they can. And it's kind of like, all right, we think they could trade it, but we know these other people won't trade it. So for example, let's say there's an ETF. Some data provider might say, nope, that's part of the free float. We know they actively trade, they're in and out. While another one might say, no way is that ETF going to sell these shares at all. So they might put them in closely held. But my point is free float, closely held, which that calculation there's some discrepancy. But regardless of what bucket you put it into, it still adds up to outstanding shares. So that's why between Ortex or whatever your data provider is, there's a little bit of going to be some wiggle room there, just so you know when you're coming into free float. But I didn't even put the free float out there. I don't know why he yelled at me about that. GME float is 44.4 million. It might be. I'm not like disagreeing with that. I'm just saying right here, the shares on loan per New York Stock Exchange, he's just clearly citing old data. And like I showed you that old data. It's from July 30th. So with it, I just don't want more misinformation. I beg you, I plead to you, do not say anything mean, nasty. Honestly, don't respond to this whatsoever. I don't want more infighting. Gary Gensler's lost horse. I still believe that they're on the Ape Nation community side. I don't know how to make this more clear. Do not say something negative. Do not attack anyone, especially someone that's another ape. I'm just here. I'm not attacking him. I'm clarifying. Please stop spreading misinformation. It's just, I mean, I've gotten in, historically, they've tried to say that I had no AMC. No, I still have AMC. I'm still very much, in fact, as my Discord knows, I went even more long on AMC during lunchtime today. I announced it in my Discord that I bought even more. So I don't know how to make this more clear. What I'm putting out is verifiably accurate. This is verifiably inaccurate, but don't fight. There's no need for personal drama at all. Something can be right or wrong without it being a personal attack. It seems like this is trying to be a personal attack, but let's be better than that. Let's be above that. No personal attacks. I'm not asking you to do anything negative of the sort. I just want you to understand what this possible discrepancy truly is. But I need to reiterate this one more time. Please no attacking. Please no harsh words. Please nothing like that. I just think this is more of a teaching moment. But yeah, overall, that's what it is. Let me know if you have any questions or confusion on that or like what it does or doesn't mean. But in the meantime, AMC is looking very, very good. Double topped at 36. So hopefully we get a little bit of a cup and handle heading into power hour. GME also looking good. It's trading at 165, up 1.7%. AMC's trading just below 36 and it's up 6.72%. Tesla's coming back a little bit here. Looks like it's trying to break above. Watch 685. Unfortunately, Robinhood triple bottomed out between 47, 47.5 and made its way back up here. So we can keep a little bit of our eye on Robinhood to see what that's doing. Oh, we should probably check in on crypto. check in on crypto. So right now, Bitcoin is at 46,400. Ethereum is at 3,215. Cardano's at $2.13, and then Doge is at 33. So overall, I mean, crypto, it had a weird. Oh, wait, hang on. I want to go back to Bitcoin really quick. It was very, very hot for quite a while. I would say all the way up until May, and then mid-May up until the start of August. So we had mid-May, June, July. So about 3 months. Let's call it 3 months where crypto was ripping before that. And then it kind of went into a lull and we got out of that bearish trend. And now it seems like it's coming back alive. Like this is on the daily chart. We see Bitcoin breaking out, but overall it does seem as if there's some exuberance, some excitement turning back to the crypto sector. So as there's money-making opportunities, of course, like why would we not talk about it, especially with right now? I mean, in my opinion, it's becoming a stronger and stronger argument of why we should even be in crypto to begin with, as our Federal Reserve on a day-to-day basis is always just doing the most wild of things that like blows my mind day in and day out. But overall, check it out. There are many, many good exchanges and brokerages to get your crypto, but one that I just think is incredibly easy, and it might have certain implications of where you do or don't live. For example, if you live in New York, you won't be able to use it, but you could check out the app Voyager. It's right above me. You could check it out. You could download it. We were talking about it earlier. All right, let's go to Voyager. And what I like about it, it's just super easy to use. That's like my main, I guess, support of this particular one. And beyond that, it's a super easy interface. They support many, many different coins, as you could see right here. You just download it. It's a phone app. If you put in the code, what is it? It's above my head, MATT21, MATT21. You get an extra $25 worth of Bitcoin as soon as you trade $100 of any crypto. So if you trade $100 worth of Bitcoin, you'll get an extra 25. So right there, you have a 25% buffer already built in if you care about crypto. If you don't, well, just disregard everything I said. But I am notably excited about what we are seeing in AMC heading into Power Hour. AMC heading into Power Hour, I mean, 36, gonna get interesting. Matt, do you think about the 10 strike for call option SPR this Friday? Not financial advice. I don't think that's enough time. I think you're playing it way too close. I saw a buy order of 69 shares pop up. Was that you? Not a hedge fund. It was not. Did you see Tree Killer 35 fly the banner over Brickyard 490 on Sunday? So I didn't know the name of it, but I saw that video and I thought that was incredibly, incredibly awesome. Does Voyager have XRP? No, it doesn't. I believe it could be stored there and tracked there, but you can't buy it from Voyager. Do you trade TQQQ or any of their leveraged ETFs? I have, but I don't currently have a position of any leveraged ETFs right now. I have a Webull and E-Trade account. Does E-Trade do payment for order flow? Thinking about only buying on E-Trade. Thanks for all you do, Brosif. I could check that for you. E-Trade. Let's see who. E-Trade. Citadel was providing payment for order flow. Robinhood, E-Trade. Yeah, E-Trade's number 2 on the list. TD Ameritrade's number 3. Charles Schwab, Webull, Ally. So some of these, though, just so you know, there is like a paid service. And then some of them have like the free service that's pay for order flow. But then if you have like for example, there's some more of like the pro services that you pay and you're like using their fancy software, and then that's not payment for order flow. But whatever it was, according to the 606, Citadel was providing payment for order flow. Robinhood, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, Webull, Ally, First Trade, TradeStation, and then for Fidelity, they were doing it for options orders. But with that being said, this is interesting. So even though E-Trade does do it for payment for order flow, Citadel ranked as the #1 venue for sending both stock and option orders, and E-Trade's not on this list. So even though I guess they do some form of payment for order flow, they're not the main person. Like Citadel's not the main one they send it to, which is interesting. If you want to read this yourself, The website is Wall Street on Parade. Citadel is paying for order flow from non-online brokerage firms, not just Robinhood. So you can check it out, do your own DD, dive into it. I do have an E-Trade account. I haven't used it in a while. I know there's E-Trade Pro. There's a chance that E-Trade Pro does not do it on the Pro service. I just want to put that out there because we're seeing some of the discrepancies in certain brokerages, like of when you get the better one, they're not doing PFOF anymore. So you might want to just like look into that for really any of those main ones. That's actually a very fair possibility. Matt, you still holding SPRT? What's your thoughts on it? Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm planning on holding it like for the remainder of the month. I have September monthly calls on it, so I have quite a bit of time. It wasn't like the quickest play for me. Give a shout out to Singapore Apes. Shout out Singapore Apes. Let me know in a chat where you're from, what country you're from. All right, I think I am up to date there. Perfect. Let me make sure. Why is this Discord not up? All right, we are good. We talked about PayPal for crypto. Rachel, no. You're 100% right. Before the new Apes 801 and really tested, all they knew was green. This past month has the test we needed to get. Yeah, shout out Stonksara, shout out Pete, shout out TMI's avocado. Oh, speaking of which, I need to respond to TMI. Black sheep. All right, I'm in. I forgot to respond to him. Just responded to him. United Kingdom, shout out Austin, Ohio, Canada, Jersey, Tibet, Moon, Holland, Illinois, San Diego, England, Greece, Wales, Montreal, Honduras, Netherlands, Wisconsin, baby, Texas, Mars, the Kremlin, Tibet, international, just generically international, London, baby, Germany, Toronto, Amsterdam, Texas, Wales, Puerto Rico, Pennsylvania, shout out Pennsylvania, Bulgaria, Germany, Brazil, Zootopia, Brooklyn, Dublin, Israel, New York, Ohio, Kentucky, Key West, Holland, Alabama, Sweden, Florida, England, Romania, Utah, shout out Nepal, Thailand, Fort Lauderdale, Croatia, Lawrence, Spokane, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Toronto, New Zealand. Shout out. Apes around the world. Let's get a little excited for the... Oh, there we go. Let's get a little excited. I'm looking for this break above 36. All right, I think we are there. Shiba coin. I actually don't even know where I would chart Shiba coin. Where would I chart that Shiba? US. Oh, I guess this. I mean, it looks like it's bending background. I really don't know much about it. It looks like it had a cup, a handle, an explosion. It's running up to resistance. If it breaks above that, that could be strong. It's showing some trend, some life, but in the bigger picture, it's been pretty seriously beaten down. So it's going to be running into some resistance pretty soon. Whatever this mark is, 12.15, if it gets above that, that might be looking good. But like I said, I think it's important that I reiterate, I really don't know much about Shiba Inu. I think it was just some of it when I must have somehow, I think some of it was gifted to me by Voyager on Voyager. So on Voyager, I have like $250 worth of Shiba Inu, but I don't know anything about it. From a technical perspective, I would be looking for this break above 12.15, and then that maybe even shows more strength. But the RSI is pretty overextended at the moment in time. So it might need a little bit of a breather or something like that first. Bitcoin sitting at resistance above 47. There was a little bit I saw at 49, and then I'd be watching 50. Would love for BTC to get back above 50. I think that would be phenomenal. Sets up a test of 60, 63, 50. I mean, I feel like one of these days we're just going to be talking about how Bitcoin's trading above like 100K. Like we're going to be making videos of like, oh, it broke out today. This is it. Bitcoin hit 100K today. No idea when that's going to happen, but I do think it's a very realistic possibility. Not saying it's necessarily soon, but I do think it's in the cards for Bitcoin, at least at some point in its future. All right, what other Coinbase? So Tiger Global got a position in Coinbase. Chain analysis report. Billion Dogecoin is owned by only 31 investors. What else do we have? Not seeing anything specific to AMC GME. We know that Tesla's down today because the New York whatever governing body is like looking in officially, whatever that means, to the autopilot. Can we hit 36 today? I mean, we already have. We hit 36.18 was the high. We recently hit 36. I want to see that break of 36 and then a run up to, I don't know, basically 40, 42. 42 would be a nice breakout. 46 would be a major breakout. Above 46, I would feel insanely confident. If we trade above 46 on some decent volume, I would feel so insanely confident of it, at least at a minimum, at least testing the psychological level of 50. What's up with NAOV? It's ripping today. NAOV. Nano. I don't know. It's up. I mean, there had to be some sort of news on it. Shares on its plans to enter OTC pain relief market. So there was some sort of fundamental announcement of getting into the pain relief market. Obviously, the stock market is reacting very kindly to it. But if you take a look at its daily chart, the point to get into this was on August 12th on this breakout. You're a little bit late now. It's a little bit chasey. It is trying to break out. If you already had a position, if you bought the previous breakout, you're looking great. You got in around 275-ish. Congratulations on the play, but I in no way would be considering chasing this right now. Market might dip around 3:45 p.m. since POTUS is speaking about Afghanistan. Interesting. Maybe we should stream that. Yeah, we might want to stream that just to kind of know what's going on. Good to stay informed. What else do we want to bring up? This Tesla coming back. Nvidia, it's coming back off of 194. Roblox was taking a bit of a hit today. Ooh, more than a hit than I'd like to admit here, folks. All right, we're looking good there. All right, I'll let that all load up. Oh, let's do this. Well, this is why we're not breaking 36 yet, because I didn't put on the duck headband. Seems to be off your game today. You got it, coach. Shout out to Charles Payne, one of the hardcore silverback. Got to be a fan. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? What is this? Institutions have a better interest in underreporting to places like Ortex. Ortex doesn't have the whole picture, so it's pointless to espouse this information because it's without the rest of the market. Egregious and false. What's going on here? Yeah, I just wanted people to know this reporting, and that's one of the things that I guess in this experience for me of when some of this information was coming out, I found it to be incredible. Okay, so Bloomberg is a very expensive platform to use. Bloomberg's short interest, it is this. It's the stuff that you only get every 2 weeks, and it doesn't update in between. Bloomberg's terminal, like I said, very, very, very expensive, and it's great for many, many things. So, for example, if you have Bloomberg, you're going to be up to date on institutional ownership and those reports. Like that is very useful to have. But specifically for short interest, Bloomberg has no estimation whatsoever. It just runs every like 2 weeks. It updates and it gives you this old data, which is it's pretty incredible. That I don't know. I just don't know. Whenever you see someone citing Bloomberg data for short interest, just know that it's like exclusively getting this exchange reported stuff that's always going to be old. It doesn't have like any internal, I guess, estimation ability, which I just, when I first found that out, I was like, wait, what? Then why do so many people pay so much money for it? But hey, I guess the more you know. Can you go to members only if you stream the speech? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Good call, Trey's chest hair. Good call. Good call. What do we have here? Occam's Phaser. This is looking tasty. My fellow apes, weekly candles building into one massive W. Hey, I like that. I like that. I like that. What do we have? All right, sweet. I think we're good to go. We're good to rock. Is this not what? What's going on with the volume right now? Are they just gonna make us wait for Power Hour when things get really tasty? So what? Are they really gonna make us go in the next, I guess, 30 minutes? 30 minutes, perhaps? Free Guy beat box office expectations despite Delta fears. AMC stock is rising. It sure did. Whatever happened with the fallout of the account that was trying to say no one is watching Free Guy? Wait, S&P 500 record intraday high. No way is the SPY just running like this, especially with what's going on in Afghanistan. Well, holy Toledo, look at that. Holy Toledo, as Mr. Trade Trades would say. The S&P 500, the bottom left here, ETF, exchange traded fund. Just think of it as a basket of stocks. This particular basket is tracking 500 of the biggest companies in the US, which is why it's thought to be a barometer for the stock market in general, at large, whatever you want to say. Right now, it just made a new intraday high, and it's about to make a new all-time high in probably not that long of a time. But wow, oh wow. Wow, oh wow. Whoa. Wait, sees it? No way. Sees it does this stuff? Why won't Sees it ever reach out to me? Sees it on their Twitter game, apparently. Huh. What is going on? Okay, so I'm seeing it apparently 3:45 p.m. East Coast time. I guess our president will have commentary about some Afghanistan stuff. I know that a lot of you are going to get insanely political. So for that, we'll have to switch to members only, just to, I guess, in a certain way, save you from yourselves. I don't want my mods just endlessly banning people so you can never come back. So for your own good, because I know a lot of us, I don't know, I guess like people just don't want to keep this is not a political channel. I get that people fight about politics all over the internet, but let's not, like, we'll talk about politics through the lens of attempting to be as unbiased as possible. Like, I'm not telling you your politics are right or wrong. We're trying to dive into what's happening politically and how does that relate to the stock market. That's our goal here. I'm not telling you your thoughts are right or wrong. I mean, I wear a duck headband and I scream at my camera in my basement for a living. Like, I'm not the person you should be getting your political advice from. Trust me. But what we can do is take a look at it and be like, okay, what will this do to stocks? How can we make some money off of a potential move prompted by what our elected officials end up doing and or saying, or whatever they do or don't sign? It's not for me to tell you one person is right or wrong. Trust me, that is not me at all. If you want to know what you should be doing, saying, or thinking, or something like that, we can make that happen, but I don't know. Maybe we'll save that more for like an OnlyFans. Why is this not working? Oh, there we go. All right. For some reason, I had my own Rumble was not working for me, but now we're good. Now we are A-okay. AMC's max cost to borrow was 14%. Thinking about trying out my first call option, looking at the 37 expiring August 20th, 134 premium. Timothy, for your first one, I would highly suggest that you give yourself more time. The biggest issue I see with new options traders and experienced options traders and anything in between is people not giving themselves enough time. So you're looking at the 37th for this Friday. Like, why not give yourself an extra week or an extra month? Like, give yourself some time. I know it's more expensive, but especially for your first one, like, help yourself out. I would, if you want to play the 37s, like, that's cool. Like, I think that's a good level. The 40s, the 4K at 4K KBSs. 4K. We're cruising. We are cruising at 4K KBSs. Don't know what it means, but I still like the sound of it. Still like the sound of it. I hope I'm not down. Am I good on Rumble? Rumble people. Wait a second. What's going on? You do not have any notifications. Am I live or am I not live? Someone needs to let me know. I think we're good. My KBS expert said, hey, this is a lot of KBSs. So he's like, you're good. Tons of KBSs. Let me just reload this over here. You're back on Rumble, good on Rumble, locked on YouTube, you're live. I think I'm good. It's weird that like this type of stuff happens when you're like, oh, like right there, I was talking a little bit about politics and all of a sudden KBSs went out the window. Very quickly, no matter where you are, it's telling me you should be good. Recommended. We recommend. Why is it all over? You might want to do a quick reload, folks. I'm getting some weird stuff here. Just the life of a duck streamer. Devin's Law, shout out. You did that on purpose for the outfit change. Matt, you did that in the middle of school me. Timothy, overall, I like the price level you're looking at. I just would recommend giving yourself more time. For all levels of options traders, one of the biggest things I see when they're going long on a call or long on a put, they just aren't giving themselves enough time. So I would recommend that. Sent you a message on IG. Lil Will, very, very good chance or higher chance of me seeing that message on Twitter, just so you know. Check on Apple. I have a 48 call option for September 7th. Thoughts? Apple. Whoa, what a recovery in Apple. Matt, can you please check on Apple? I have 148 options September 7th. Jorge, I don't know when you got into them. Obviously, the closer to 147, the better. But the market is turning right back around. This one could get weird based on what the president does or doesn't say. If he says something that appeases the stock market gods, we're going to keep going higher. If not, the overall stock market could come down, and Apple, being the biggest company in the world, would probably also end up taking a bit of a hit with it. I mean, Apple is currently valued at $2.57 trillion. Trillion with a T. So this is going to be definitely impacted on what the overall S&P 500 does. Like they're not going to move in lockstep by any means, but they're going to be highly correlated. So if you are in nice profits right now and you're like, hang on, I don't want to take on the risk of the political announcements this afternoon in about an hour, you might want to just lock them in. I mean, one in the hand is worth two in the bush type of a situation. But if you're feeling lucky, I mean, it's a breakout. It's above 150. I like Apple. I'm a long-term investor in Apple. I do like it. But it's up to you. Ride the trend. If the trend is there, the trend is your friend. At least I got to watch Gangnam Style when you're off. Jorge, I hope that helps you out. But with it, trend is your friend. Keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. What does that even mean? Why do I get this error? I feel like it's not even my fault. Just bought 57 shares of AMC, was at 3K in March, went to 102 in June, and then back to 3K right now due to the terrible call options. Hey, right there with you. I've had my own horrific story related to just over leveraging too much of it. Too much. Streamlabs. Keyframes. No clue what any of these mean. Oh, I need to change my keyframe interval. I feel like they're just making things up. But you know what's not being made up right now? AMC's very interesting action, trying to get right above. It's above 36 right now. Thus far, we've basically triple topped just north of 36. It's getting exciting. I mean, I think earlier today when we got above really 35, I was saying the next stop is 37, and I still feel good about it. I think the AMC choo-choo train is on its way to 37. I just want this to hold, and we're setting up, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm overly optimistic, but I think we're setting up pretty nice heading into Power Hour. I got in at 146. Jorge, that's a great trade. And don't remember, you could always lock in some profits. You don't have to buy all at once or sell out at once. So, for example, let's say you bought anything more than just one call option. If you're worried about it, we'll sell some and let the other ride. Like, meet yourself in the middle. Hey, Coach Kohrs. So the more money your contract goes, the further the bid-ask spread widens. No, not Lucas. That's that might just be something weird going on the one that you're looking at. That doesn't necessarily have to be true. Good question. Good question. Good question. Oh, my quick question for all of you. Before we get rocking into Power Hour, we have about 20 minutes. If you folks could lend me a quick helping hand and hit that like button, completely free, just helps out with the algorithm, gets more people in here. And if you haven't already, if you want to be a member of the Moon Gang, where we talk about stocks, crypto, options, futures, Cheez-It, sangria, life, this is the place for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Real subscribes, synthetic subscribes, dark pool subscribes, lit exchange subscribes, same thing with likes. All of those are welcome. Why not? You could over leverage it, get some calls on subscribe, sell some puts against the subscribe. If you wanted to get some call swaps on the like button, whatever you want to do, we're here for it. It's the casino of social media. Man, you guys just exploded it from 2,000 up to 3,000. You're the best. The passion. I love this stuff. You guys are the best. Hey, Matt, can you check Zom Medica for me and let me know what you think? Of course, not financial advice. Let's look into Zom. Zom. Ooh, does not look good. All this thing has done is sell off. I think it just keeps dropping, unfortunately. I hope you're not long on it. Like, I don't want to be crushing your dreams, but it looks like it might be still falling to like 25, 30 cents. It just is not looking good. Selling, selling, selling. ZOM. I just don't see any buyers. No one's buying it. I would not. If I had to play this, I'd probably bet against it, but I would really just prefer to not play it. Dead and Co show tonight in NC. You'd fit right in. I'm a little far away from NC, but I'm big fan of both Carolinas, really. I love if you're in the Carolinas right now, I'm jealous of you. I think they're awesome. Eeyore tweet. What did Eeyore say? For a while, he was updating us on S3's opinions. Will, as in Lil Will, covered call. The main thing is you just want it to be below whatever the strike price is by the time of expiration. All right, what else do we have? Someone said Eeyore from S3 Partners was tweeting. Let's see what he's up to. What did he put out in the world? He was talking about Wish. He was talking about Tesla. He was talking about SoFi, RKT, Palantir, Oatly, GME. So he said GME short interest is 10.67, and the S3 estimated short interest is 9.64. I think Charlie is going to have like a hernia when he sees that. Ooh, for AMC though, he's saying the short interest is 21 and the S3 short interest is 17. So kind of in the middle of the Ortex one. That kind of makes sense. Because remember, a lot of this is you're estimating as best as you can. So they're in the range of 17.5 up to 21. And then Ortex is kind of in the middle of this at 19. Interesting. SPY looking very strong. How's IWM looking? So according to Eeyore, not these numbers, do not shoot the messenger. Eeyore from S3 is saying the short interest on AMC is about double that of GME. Once again, these are estimations. These are not my own formulas. I'm just telling you what Eeyore is saying on Twitter. Not my own research on that particular data point. What else do we have? Laura Logan. Okay, I guess we're just kind of waiting right now an hour. Well, 15 minutes till power hour, where I think things could get more spicy with AMC. And then past that, President Biden to speak about Afghanistan at 3:45. Does anyone, can someone in Discord or chat let me know where we would be, like, where we can view that? Man, people are getting so defensive about GameStop. For commentary in general, like, just if you're always, and I've spoken about this, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. You can't live in your own echo chamber. You cannot live in a world of confirmation bias where everyone that agrees with you is like amazing, and then everyone that disagrees with you is like a paid shill who allegedly works for Citadel. That's not how this should go in any stock, whether it's AMC, GME, any stock. That's not a good methodology for you to be a successful trader. You can't just do that. I mean, we see this rise of just like keyboard warriors who they just don't know what they're talking about, and then they just get super defensive. Like, you should feel so confident in your own play that seek out people who actively disagree with you, understand why they disagree with you, and then see if your opinion still holds water and like can beat theirs. Be like, okay, I see how you're saying it, but have you considered X, Y, and Z? Hence why we have differing opinions. You can't just sit there and whine like some poorly, I don't know, developed psychosocial stunted person who's like, wow, you disagree with me, I'm gonna scream. That's not a good way to handle the stock market, like whatsoever. It's not a good way to handle life. All right, people are saying CNN, other people are saying Ape News, other people are saying Fox News, all networks. Oh, so just everyone will stream it? We'll be streaming live on Dumb Money, exclusive rights to the president's speech. It's weird just because I feel like wherever we see it, then we're going to get that political connotation. I would very much rather just someone show the speech and then not give me their political commentary on it. Does anyone know of a channel that will do that? That'll just show it without like completely bashing the other side during or right after the speech? Groupthink. It's how you fail as a group. Yeah, I mean, it ebbs and it flows, and I guess I'll be transparent. I am long on AMC. I am long on GME, but the groups seem to like to fight sometimes. Like sometimes we have AMC purists and sometimes we have GME purists, and that's fine. If you want to be in one and not both, all the power to you, whatever. I'm letting you know I am long on both, but you see it recently. It's not that big of a secret that over the past, week, AMC has performed better than GME. So now you see a lot of people in the GME community who are getting mad. And we saw the inverse of this earlier in, like, for example, like whatever, January, February, you would have some people who were like super into AMC and then they would get more emotional and mad because GME was outperforming. People like to like hate the other part of the community. And it frustrates me because we're on the same side. If you are in AMC, if you are in GME, really the other person is definitely not your enemy and is probably closer to your friend than you could possibly imagine. Remember the infighting between these two communities. It's so C-SPAN. All right, maybe we'll try to find it on C-SPAN. I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll definitely try to find it on C-SPAN. But just remember that this AMC and GME thing, like people are getting so mad. Like all of a sudden, okay, what I've previously seen, I've been using Ortex for months and months and months. If Ortex is reporting a higher and higher number, so many people are like, this is amazing. This is great. Ortex, they're for the apes. This is amazing. And then as soon as there's like a 1% decline, they're like, Ortex is a Citadel product. Everyone's being paid off. You're getting paid to spread false information. It's just so emotionally volatile. And then I just sit here. I'm like, this is the exact same software that you guys liked like a week ago. And then they just like automatically forget that. And they're like, no. We always hated that. We hated that. We never liked it. And then in 1 week, when this short interest goes higher and higher, it's going to go back to absolutely loving it. It's just, I feel like I'm just being gaslit by a bunch of like keyboard warriors. It's weird. But overall, please understand, don't fight between AMC and GME. If you're in one and you're talking to someone who's in the other, okay, why would you want them to lose? Be like, hey, good luck. I hope you make some money. We're all in this, especially AMC and GME, to make some money, send a message to Wall Street. It's honestly that simple. Like, you don't have to be in the same stock all the time for that person to be your best buddy. They could be in the other one and you could be like, okay, good luck. Cool. I hope we all win. There is definitely enough going on that AMC and GME can both go absolutely to Pluto. That is possible. I just don't see the reason of like the fighting between the two. I mean, whatever. I would, if I were you, I mean, I'm in both. You do you, but don't fight with someone else just because they arbitrarily picked the other one. Or maybe it wasn't even arbitrary. Maybe they had a good reason. Maybe some people like to be in stocks closer to the early part of the alphabet, and maybe some other people like to be a little bit more the middle of the alphabet. Maybe that's their reasoning. I don't care their reasoning. They have their own reasoning. They're taking the risk by putting their money where their mouth is, and I wish them the best of luck. It's that simple. The White House's YouTube channel, Diamond-Handed Apes. Oh, that's a good call. Let me check that out. The White House's YouTube channel. Do you think they would hire me as a correspondent? What do we have here? White House. The White House. All right, so they don't have a pending live stream yet. The White House has 1.89 million subscribers. Do like even better and bigger content. I will never, ever be able to beat an Olivia Rodrigo, Dr. Fauci crossover. How? That's amazing. I'm not going to beat that. I don't have the connection to get Olivia Rodrigo. Okay. I would have to do, I don't know, something. I would have to pull out an amazing piece of content, like a, maybe some sort of like contest game between, like, I'm the host and then whoa, what's going on here? Am I back? What's going on with YouTube? Am I dropping on? It still says four KBSs, 4,000 KBSs. I think I'm live. There shouldn't be an issue. I hope there's not an issue. Anyway, back to 4,000 KBSs. Okay. So if the White House gets to 2 million subscribers by doing a Fauci Rodrigo crossover, I would have to do like some sort of crazy content. Like I would need to get Hulk Hogan obviously involved, Mark Sinclair obviously involved, Riley Reid obviously involved. It would have to be some sort of like mega form of content for me to possibly surpass that. For sure we'll hire you on C-SPAN. I'd love to be the C-SPAN commentator. Matt, just have been told utilization has hit 100%. Can you confirm on Ortex? Also, Ape Scotland says hi. Ape Fia Scotland says hi. Shout out to Scotland. And also a specific shout out to Scottish accents. I think that's even more important right there. But utilization, Mr. KC show, I don't believe it's 100%. You might be looking at something like Stonko Tracker, but remember, they're only getting data from one prime broker. Right now, this is about 60% of market volume, the live updates, and then the top updates are about 85% of market volume of the coverage. But with 60% coverage, there's actually been a net return of 1.72 million shares. The utilization's not at 100%. So I don't quite know where you're getting it. My assumption, my knee-jerk reaction is you probably saw something from Stonko Tracker. But if Stonko Tracker is saying none, that just means that Interactive Brokers, that prime broker, no longer has any shares. But that's just one broker. But right now, for all brokers with AMC, the utilization is not 100%. The childless division needs to stop. It's the biggest thing that will kill this movement and stop squeezing. Hedgies are loving the infighting. It's not GME or AMC. It's both for all apes. I 100% agree with you. I'm in both. I just like the stocks. Shout out my duck suspenders. We're just a bunch of bored apes. We fight to pass the time. Hey, Matt, what do you think about AMC Wheel 37, 33, 40? Folks, wait, are we back? Are we back to full KBS output? 40, 40, yeah, that's gonna be a meme before we know it. 40. The only thing that would have made that better is if I had the glasses on. I hope if this gets frozen again and I'm making that face, I just wish I had these on. This is why I shouldn't take them off, because I miss out on opportunities like that. I miss out on big opportunities like that. And I think we're back. Very strange, though, being like nothing has changed from the morning till now. So I don't know why this is. I don't know what else it happens. I like AMC. It's almost like ABC. Very easy. Another good reasoning. What was I talking about with 40 anyway? 40, 40, 40, 40. What was I saying with 40? Who knows? But it does seem like it's holding up maybe a little bit better here. SL Bible. If you're having some of those probs over on Rumble, don't forget to just do a reload of the page. A reload of the page. I think we're back. 40. The 40 remix was fire. I mean, can anyone tell me what a good KBS is? How many kilobytes per second should I be transferring? Does any fancy schmancy streamer out there know the answer to that? KB's Frank. Someone named Frank is very, very popular right now. All right. Enough with the games. Let's get down to brass tacks. Are we going to break out at 36? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Power hour. Power hour. Borrow fee going up on AMC. Get ready. Did anyone think that it's weird, the timing about it, like at all? The timing 3:45, like he starts talking right before the market closes. Anyone else at all? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, possibly. Somewhere in between. $40. That's it. I just wish I had these glasses on. All right, let's see. 8th grade algebra, whatever, or it says. Folks, well, AMC looking pretty, up 6.3% on the day, trading at 35.60. GME also green on the day, up 1%, trading at 164.29. The S&P 500 has been on a nonstop rally. I guess, I don't know. Maybe the country's just like saying, hey, we really like whatever this speech is going to be. Like, I don't get why it's rallying. It doesn't make sense. I can't even come up with a funny joke about it because it's lunacy. This is a bunch of Looney Tunes that we're dealing with right about now. So it happens. It happens. It happens. I don't even know what I was saying about Frank. I don't know, like whatever this clip part was. Frank 40, Frank. Well, Frank, it's going to work. It's going to work for you. I don't know what I was saying, but I would say it again. I would say it again. Can you look into Clove? Yeah, so we checked out Clove this morning. It does not look good in any manner. I'm not a fan of what's going on with Clove. Someone just said 4K is pretty low for 1080p. Well, how do I up my KBSs? Preferences. Let's see what happens. Output. Is it my bit rate that I need to change? Streaming. Advanced. Oh, you can't do it while you're live. So you're saying that I need to bring my bit rate up to like what? 4,000, 5,000, 6,000? Someone, I think it's weird, but I think it would make sense. But also, how the market is pumping makes me feel like they're going to try to have retail hold the bag. So I bought puts. Could be, Seth. I mean, it's running like an insane person. The only thing, I would just make sure you have enough time. All right. Someone's talking about Bitcoin. Oh, I was talking about where Bitcoin's going. Bitcoin on the 2-hour chart took like a mini hit, and now we're kind of going sideways with it. It seems like a lot of crypto going sideways at the moment. I think everyone, honestly, we might be in this weird scenario where a lot of people might just be waiting for 345, like kind of just some, I don't know, apprehension about what's going on. Do you live in a rural area? Yeah, Center City, Philadelphia. So pretty rural. Just a small little town in PA, Philadelphia. More bitrate is more throughput. Make sure you can handle it. Emotionally, set your keyframes to 2. Folks, if I'm being honest, do I know what a keyframe is? No. Will I set it to 2 because some stranger on the internet told me to set it to 2? Of course I will. Because I'm just naturally a trustworthy person. So wait. Someone out there, someone with a big brain for streaming, can you tell me what my bitrate should be and what my keyframe should be? My keyframe interval? Should it be like 3,502, like 5,002, or what are we dealing with here? Is there a Patty's Pub in Philly? Not that I've been to, but there might be. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Hilarious show. Confirmation bias, do your own DD. I'm more of just a trustworthy fella, and I'll be like, hey, let's do it. I have an Ethernet in right now, so I don't know what's weird with that. Matt lives by the Liberty Belt. You know what's funny? Oh, wait. Okay, we just started Power Hour. This is, I have 2 different good stories for you. So I'll start off with maybe the one that's probably, I guess, arguably less humorous. So story time with Matt. Story time 1, this was a while ago. I had to go and get one of those like rapid tests because I had to travel, and they're like, well, if you're going to travel, this was a while ago, and you had to get one of the tests to make sure that you didn't have the Rona. And the place I went, I was walking, and I stopped, read the sign, and it said, this is the building where Ben Franklin wrote the Declaration of Independence. And I was like, oh, that's pretty sick. Like, just this building on a corner, like just a normal brick building. And then literally within like spitting distance across the street, there's a Dunkin'. And then I realized, wow, what a great branding for Dunkin'. Like Dunkin', America truly does run on Dunkin'. The Declaration of Independence, the closest business to where it was written, where Ben Franklin was up all night and then he went and had to get like macchiato or something. It was Dunkin' right there. Dunkin' has been there since the start. It's Jefferson. Wow, I really messed that one up. That wasn't the point of the story. It was definitely more so of just that. Dunkin's been there from the start. If you want to know how the Declaration of Independence was actually written, it was right there. It's been there since day one. So that's something I recently wanted to share with you, and it came to my attention recently. But more importantly, and you're talking about messing up words, this is where you're going to start to notice a pattern of messed up words. But here, let's dive into this extra story. So it all started, and I asked my completely real girlfriend if I should share the start of this story on stream, because I was like, it doesn't seem funny. Like, I don't know if the guys in the audience are really going to laugh at this, but she's like, I can guarantee you the girls in the audience are really going to resonate with it. So I don't quite get it, so I'll just tell the story for how it is. But anyway, so my 5-year anniversary was on Thursday. And we did stuff on Thursday, and then we're like, oh, let's go do something more special on Saturday. Like, let's spend the day together. Let's do all these things. So we went for a cool hike somewhere on the Delaware. We did that. We came back, and I had this reservation. And in Philadelphia, there's like this celebrity chef restaurant dude, Steven Starr, and I went to one of his restaurants, Alves, and it was great. And we made the reservations, blah blah blah. So we do the hike, we come back, and we're getting ready to go out to this restaurant, and she's like, "I'm gonna dress up cute," and I was like, "Oh, me too. I'm gonna put on my tiger shirt, my like Moon Gang tiger shirt that has flowers. Like if she's gonna look cute, I'm gonna look cute." That was my mindset. So she spends all this time getting ready, and apparently, like if you're a girl, it takes like a literal fortnight to dry your hair. So I'm sitting there, and she comes down the stairs, and I'm not gonna lie, she did look really good, and I didn't have the opportunity to say anything about that. And I right away went into my own emotionally defensive shell, because the first thing out of her mouth was, "Are you going to wear that?" And I was like, well, I look cute. So that's the assumption that I don't look cute then when I'm there in my arguably my best tiger shirt. And if you guys were to see this as a video, I would assume you would be on her side, because she had her makeup and her hair and her outfit and her shoes. And I was there in a bomb ass tiger shirt. And then I wore my best pair of shorts, which happened to be black sports shorts. And then I had on a pair of sneakers. So like, I get it, kind of. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's the part of the story. I was like, I don't know how I can make that funny. She was just upset with what I wore. And I feel like if you're a guy watching right now, you're like, yeah, no, that sounds like you sound cute, Matt. Like a tiger shirt, black sport shorts, and a brand new pair of black sneakers. All the other guys are like, yeah, no, Matt, that sounds super cute. But my completely real girlfriend is more of the opinion that the girls listening right now would be like, we've been there, and no, like it's a problem. But anyway. So we get in the Uber, and we're crushing it, and we get all the way to El Vez. So like we're ready. I'm still in my tiger shirt. Obviously, I'm too cute to possibly take it off at this point. So we get to El Vez, which is this great Steven Starr Mexican restaurant. Mr. Starr, if you're listening right now, I love the guac, the queso, the tacos you have at your restaurant, all really good. But for quite a while in my life, I've gotten to the point, and a lot of you listening to this, maybe you are at this point, maybe you're coming up to this point in your life. If offered to you, there's no point in not getting a pitcher of margaritas. Like there's no difference. Like if they say, do you want a glass or do you want a pitcher? You're gonna go with a pitcher. I'm currently at that point in my life. I was like, hey, is this pineapple jalapeno Mar good? And the guy's like, it's real good. Do you want a glass or do you want a pitcher? And I was like, why are you asking me this? Not only do I want a pitcher, but I want a pitcher pronto. And if you see me crush 2/3 of it within the first 15 minutes, I'll probably want another pitcher. And he's like, oh, gotcha. I like your shirt. It's super cute. And I said, thank you. So anyway, as you can imagine, I get about a pitcher deep in these margaritas. And they're very good margaritas, great food. And then the night continues because it was hard to get I guess a reservation there. So it was kind of on the earlier side. So we had much more time in the evening to do whatever we wanted. So we ended up meeting up with some people. Then we went to this like really cool rooftop bar, and it was awesome. And we get there, and in my life, I guess that saying of your eyes are bigger than your stomach. In this, I would say my brittle emotional nature is bigger than my liver can handle, if you catch my drift. But anyway, so we get there, and I keep going. Because at this point, they have these like slushy mango things. They have these things called a hurricane, which is apparently just like rum and sugar coated in red so you don't taste it. And at some point, I don't really remember too much. And then the next day, I was like, oh, like whatever. I wake up and I was like, so completely real girlfriend. Her name's Jess. I was like, Jess, like what happened last night? And I was like, I remember this. Like, I remember we watched some Ted Lasso. Like, what's going on? She's like, well, do you remember talking to... It's kind of funny that I messed up the Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson thing, because I'm starting to notice a pattern in my own life where she's like, well, you were talking to that guy at the second bar. He's like, oh, like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I kind of talk about like finance and business. It's kind of YouTube, but it's kind of weird. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like me. I could picture me saying that. And then Mr. Said Businessman, I guess I got into a conversation about franchises with him. And I was there pitching this guy the concept of franchises as if he never heard it. And please understand, this is being reiterated back to me. But, and if you know about franchises, like you guys know me, I like the Texas Roadhouse franchise, blah, blah, blah. So I'm pitching franchises. I guess I was in this mode of franchise pitch, all like, if you were talking to me, we're talking about business and we're talking about a franchise business. But the issue is within this entire night, to these people who I guess were dressed up and actually looked like legitimate people as I'm there in my cute tiger shirt, I didn't ever refer to it as a franchise. I kept calling them French houses. So like I was telling people you should invest in French houses. And I was like, oh, have you heard of Texas Roadhouse? It's a great French house. So I wasn't calling them franchises the entire night, even though I was talking about franchises. I was only saying French houses. And then I guess we're in a place that looked nice. And instead of saying like gourmet food or ornate design and decoration, I kept saying gournate. Like I put gourmet and ornate together. And I was seriously arguing with people that gournate was a word. And by seriously arguing with people, I was arguing with my girlfriend who knows like way more about words and definitions and spelling and grammar than I'll ever know. She's like one of these book nerd people. So I'm arguing with her in the Uber that gournate is a word. And then the Uber driver is like, what is wrong with you? Like gournate is not a word. I was like, yeah, it's like super nice and like gold and like blah, blah. And he's like, either you're talking about gourmet or ornate. It's not gournate. And then that one concluded where I was like, oh, like, okay, like maybe you're right. And then at this point, I still didn't realize the whole franchise thing. And then to the Uber driver, I was pitching French houses. I was like, dude, you really need to look into French houses. Like, you know, like French houses is where it's at. Trust me. And from there, obviously, he was not into what I was talking about. And then we watched Ted Lasso and went to bed. But overall, do I necessarily know the fallout of this story? No. Do I think maybe Webster Dictionary should add gournate as a word? Its definition being very ornate, high quality, good tasting food. Yeah, I do think they should add gournate as a word. I don't know why. I'm on the frontier of syllables. I'm on the frontier of words. I'm not going to live in everyone's confined social word of like, no, you can only say words that are on the dictionary. No, be creative. Be on the frontier of vocabulary. And that's where I find myself. And sometimes I get into awkward positions like this. And in terms of the whole franchise French house debacle, I don't know. I don't know the fallout of that. It's going to be one or two things. We're going to have an entire subset of businessmen and women who end up investing in franchises, or they're going to inappropriately end up investing in French houses. I don't know. I never got to correct myself. But if you happen to own property in France, if you want to send me a thank you card because they end up buying up more property and they're like, well, the guy in the tiger shirt was saying we should buy French houses. I don't know, or maybe you already own a franchise and those values are going to go up. But my point is you have a 50-50 shot. 50-50. If it's either the franchise route, the French fries route, now I'm throwing in a third one, the French houses route or the franchise rate. One of them is you're going to get helped out by my discussion with these people in Philly. I just don't know which. So maybe you want to invest in both. But I would say that's the takeout, the takeaway from how I would really, I don't know. We've all been there. We've all been there when you confuse a French house with a franchise, but they're close. They're very, very close. But overall, that's the main thing you're going to need to learn. Live on the frontier vocabulary and invest in both French houses and franchises. Very important. The French fries. What it is to be me. All right. So for those of you who are just listening, AMC is currently trading at 35.20. It's up 5.1% on the day. And GME is trading at 163, and it's green on the day by about 0.6%. We're about 25 minutes out from the president talking about Afghanistan. We will be listening to that. This is by no means a political commentary on my end. I think we should just listen to it because it obviously could have an impact on what's going on with the stock market. So I think we should listen to it. It's good for us to be informed. The more information we have, the better off it's going to be. This is not saying like I don't know what's going to be said. So I don't know if I'll be supportive or an opponent to it, in opposition. I have no clue. Am sold on these French houses. More info, please. Like, he has a very, very good investment thesis on these French houses. These gourmet French houses. You never know. Can you start a petition on change.org for dark pool transparency? Hedgies clearly have an unfair advantage. I'll sign it. I think the issue is more payment for order flow. There are aspects of dark pools that I don't like, but I think if you could only fix one thing, dark pools or payment for order flow, I don't know what your fix would be, but I would fix payment for order flow first. I think both of them need to be fixed, but I think payment for order flow is more detrimental to our system. And I think right now in the community, I think it's starting to change a little bit now that more people are starting to learn about payment for order flow, because about 2 or 3 weeks ago, the hot thing was dark pools. And that's cool. That's fine. I think a lot of it does need to be revised, but I would, if I could wave a magic wand and fix one of them instantaneously, I would fix payment for order flow before I would fix dark pools. Some of these, no YouTuber will touch any form of protest. I mean, I think protesting, we know that it's a common thing for the people who you're protesting against to hire people who will, I guess, more provocateurs, if you will. It just seems like bad news across it. Even if it's peaceful, I think a lot of people are trying to go into it with a peaceful mindset if it happens. But I would highly, highly, highly recommend you be careful and cautious, because you don't know what some of these other people will do if they try to be, all of a sudden it could become a non-peaceful protest. And the second it becomes a non-peaceful protest, it really does mar the image of what we're trying to create. I just don't really necessarily agree with it. I think it could go south way, way too quickly. This isn't a stock channel. It's a variety show coming at you from Wendy's. Man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Finishing this up right now. It's spicy. The nail in the coffin. Stand by. That's from the Wolf of My Street, aka Ryan Rigg. So if Cootery, if he ends up posting that before the president's speech at 3:45, definitely let me know. How is AMC doing? AMC is doing good. I mean, good. It's up 6% on the day. We're having a technical breakout above 33.50. Depending on how the day goes, we might have another technical break of 37. We did tap just above 36, 3 different times, which is good. I mean, AMC is looking good, good, good. What a way to kick off the week. We're halfway through the month of August. I mean, I kind of alluded to this in July, but we know July and August kind of weird. It's the summer months. It's the summer blues. A lot of people not trading, lower volume, lower volatility. So for me, my mindset is like, okay, if we're holding strong and we can kind of get into maybe summer and the remainder of the year when people are more so actively trading and not necessarily on their summer break, I'm happy with how things are going. Obviously, do I think it could always be higher? Yeah, well, every cent matters. So I definitely agree with that. I'm just trying to illustrate the point that, like, yeah, summertime trading can be weird. This is the first summer in 2 years that people are actively out doing things. So I think the market and social media is actually taking a bigger hit because people are out getting vitamin D. They're out there drinking pitchers of margaritas and pitching French houses to business people in Philadelphia. Yes, some of us are doing other things besides just streaming day in and day out. But I do see kind of a rebound to not only trading, but also technology, social media, as we get closer and closer, not only to September, but obviously the remainder of the year as the northern hemisphere, I guess, gets colder and more people are inside. More and more people head inside. Important stuff. My dad is listening, who is a baby boomer, and he said, this is the guy you've been watching to help you learn about stocks. Matt, I thought you had potential. I thought I had potential too, but we lost a lot of that over the weekend. Long on Popeye's chicken sandwich, short on McDonald's chicken sandwich. Bold statement from Clubfoot Buildy. Any quick lesson on negative beta for the Moon Gang? A beta of 1 means that that whatever you're watching, a stock, an ETF, is tracking the S&P 500 very, very closely. 1 is essentially in lockstep. A -1 means inversely, and a negative value is inverse. -1 means almost perfectly inverse to the S&P 500. So that's what a negative beta means, inverse to the S&P 500. Your encoder is sending data faster than real time, multiple seconds with each video second. You must rate limit your live video upload to approximately 1 second of video each second. What does that? They're just making up issues now. And I'm probably talking to myself, but how does that make sense? 1 second, they're saying, no, man, it's too slow. The other second, my encoder's going too fast. They just don't even... They can't even make up their own mind of like if they do or don't like me. But hang on, what was being said here about my frames? If you're sending 1080 to YouTube, you would want to use 8 kbs's. If you're sending 720, you should be good with 3 to 5. Wait, the other Matt. Is that your frame rate? I need a little bit of clarification because we're talking one about is my KBS's, and then the other one is my... What number actually do I care about? So it sounds like I have control over 2 things if I look at my output. It looks like I have a rate control, which gives me bit rate, and then I also have a keyframe interval. And 0 equals auto. So it sounds like I need to change the keyframe interval to 2, and it sounds like I need to increase the bit rate, perhaps. So then someone let your boy know if that's right or wrong. Can you answer the question again about the $36 with 2-minute cutoff of your stream? I didn't hear the answer. So there's nothing that special about 36. I would say more important is 40 to 42, but 36 is more of a smaller time frame resistance, and that's just where we got rejected 3 times today. Hey, Max. Private French Village for sale in your neck of the woods. Google private French Village in Gladwin, PA. 40. Love you, brother. Rather have it going too slow than too fast. Server is probably unable to keep with the frame data rate you're sending out. Too fast. Too fast for it. So wait, the other Matt, what should my bitrate be and what should my keyframe interval be? Not that I can change it until after the stream anyway. Does this mean that AMC is going to 100 today? Come on, Matt. Snap out of it, buddy. I need to know 100. I mean, I would love for it to happen today, but it would have to really get moving because we only have about 28 minutes left, and we'd probably see a lot of volatility halts. Shout out, Matt. Shout out, Mexicanos del Mundo. Not a hedge fund. Ever been to Lucky Last Chance? Best tater tots. I have not, but big fan of tater tots. Big fan, big fan. All right, I think we have this rocking. I need better. Guys, don't let me slack on my. Do not let me slack on my posture, you know? Important stuff. Shout out to everyone listening right now. If you're Rumble, I'd appreciate it if you could destroy the Royal Rumble button. If you could just annihilate that Royal Rumble button. Don't forget to subscribe either. If you're on YouTube, I would appreciate if you could drop that like. Don't forget to subscribe either. We're on our way to passing the White House in subscribers. And then finally, I'll be able to do a crossover event with Olivia Rodrigo. Ronaldo is joining Messi at PSG. Is that true? Are they allowed to put Ronaldo and Messi on the same team? Can someone confirm that? Is that legal? There has to be some sort of law that Ronaldo and Messi shouldn't be on the same team ever. That should not be allowed. It's over on Queen Street and 2nd Street. Try it. Will do. Try up, down, left, right, BA, start. Patty Mac, I'll give that the old whirl. The old college try. Matt, leave your keyframe interval the same as it's always been. You shouldn't matter if you're sending RTMP to YouTube. Bitrate will depend on your resolution you're sending. Check out this link. Recommended uploading coding settings. All right. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often, which is causing buffering. The current keyframe frequency is 8.3. Note the ingestion errors occur. Ugh. So all these errors kind of started when I went from OBS to Streamlabs. So I feel like there has to be something funky going on there that I had set up in my OBS, but not obviously in my Streamlabs. Something I would assume there, 4 seconds or less. So it sounds like I need to go to 2. Have you tried restarting it, blowing on it like a Nintendo cartridge? All right, let's stand up. We have about 10 minutes to go until the president talks about something. We're standing. I hate that you didn't get my Contra reference. Patty Mac, I hate me too. I hate me too, Patty. It happens. Happens more than I would like to admit. More than I would like to admit. OBS is much better. Yeah, I mean, that's what I got used to. The issue with it is for multi-streaming. I'm currently streaming, I'm saying this live to both YouTube and Rumble, and I want to start also including Twitch on it. So I think I had to switch over. Oh, hey, Mark, what UI are you using? It looks ornate. I don't suppose it's from one of those French houses, is it? Thoughts on FTM crypto? Yes, and yes, and let's check out FTM. I don't know what it is, but it's ripping. I wouldn't chase it. It just broke out and the RSI is super high. But if you're already in it, especially if you got into it on the reversion around 20 cents, you're crushing it right now. How is Hex looking? I'm told some people think it's a scam. Other people think it's like the best thing ever made. I don't know what it's about. Whoa. I am up a lot of. I got Hex at 8 cents. And then I also staked it. I am crushing it on Hex. Matt Kohrs, I can't say mad at that face. Come here. What's going on, fatty? I don't know what Hex is about. I'm told that it's like someone took CDs, like good old fashioned bank CDs, and put it on the blockchain. And other people are like, yeah, it's just like a yield farming scam. And I was like, I don't know. You're saying a bunch of words I don't understand, but I just know somehow I made money on it. But I also know that I staked it for 15 years. So I don't think I could get it back until I'm going to be like a geriatric at the age of 42. Man, life goes by fast. Too fast, some would say. 1 second, you're in college trying to get a degree to be a Manhattan coder. The next second, you're trying to sell French houses to people in Philly. And then a second after that, you're 42 and you're still trying to figure out your KBSs. What is life? What is life all about? All right. What's Rumble? Rumble is a like kind of a competitor to YouTube. It's smaller, but I mean, for the amount of times I've been kicked off of YouTube, it became pretty obvious that I need some sort of fail safe. At 3:45, can we duck it? Asking for a friend. James Madden. I have no idea what your question is. I'm sorry for missing your super. James Boxel reported Q2 revenue increase of 490%. Looks like it's creating a bull flag, which you taught me how to spot. Thoughts? I mean, if it's creating a bull flag, that's awesome. I don't know what your position is or isn't, but let's check out Boxel. Box Boxlight. I don't know what time frame you're on. I would need to know what time frame you're looking at. I'm not seeing a bull flag on the lower. No, so this shot up and we're seeing lower highs and the same lows around 220 roughly, give or take. So that's not really a bullish pennant because you would see the lower highs and the higher lows, like it would create a triangle. This time we have a wedge, which is a bit different and it's a bit weaker. If it breaks below 220, 215, I think it could keep coming down. Or obviously it could bounce above that. You're looking for the breakout above the high 230s. Let's just call it 240. You're looking for it to revert around 240 and break out and make a run up to 260 on Boxel. All right, I think we're good there. What are you seeing that in the recommendations? Someone says 400 4,500 bit rate. Oh, shout out Austin. Or are you using different encoders for each platform? The Uttermat, not sure at all. I'm just using what Streamlabs, I guess, like has set up. Standard frame rate, high frame rate, recommended video bit rates for HDR uploads. Ooh. Sounds like we need to pump these numbers up. Well, with keyframe, actually bring it down. Oh, but anyway, the president should be speaking shortly. Let me see if I can find this. Biden. Biden, Biden, Biden. Biden, Biden, Biden. All right, let's see what this is all about. All right. Is that already probably a nuisance to you, the noise? C-SPAN Biden. What's C-SPAN doing? Why is C-SPAN not doing it? C-SPAN needs to up their YouTube game. 5 C-SPAN. What's happening? This does not seem. All right, I think we're ready. I found the C-SPAN one for it. I know there's no audio right now, but when the president starts speaking, and allegedly 1 minute. All right, let's get going with this. Are we doing this thing? Is it starting? I'm double checking. Hang on. Is he talking over here? All right, we're waiting. Waiting. AMC currently trading at 35.60. I would love a run and if we can get that breakout in the last 15 minutes, that would be a beaut. All right. To protect people from themselves, we're going to go to members only because I think this could get a little political. This will only last for this. Obviously, we'll set it back. Please be respectful, folks. Please, please, please. Hmm. Market at a high.